Alright guys, here we go. Final review, part 1. So we started off with a little bit of volume. It says find the volume of each prism or cylinder, rounds to the nearest tenth if necessary. So we got a cylinder here, right? And so let's just look at our formula chart and see that the formula for the volume of cylinder is volume equals pi r squared times the height, right? Because for all our prisms, it was always whatever the base was times the height. Well, for a prism, the base is always a circle, so it's pi r squared times the height, right? So we have our radius. Well, actually, we have a diameter here, so half of that will be our radius, so that's no problem. What we need is the height. Okay, they give us this 25. That's a diagonal. That won't be the height. So we're going to have to find the height before we do anything. Right, the height is always what connects the two bases. So this is the height right here. They don't give it to us, but they give us this diagonal. They give us this diameter of 7, and this is just a normal right cylinder. So we know that this right here would be a right angle. I'm sorry, that's not a very good right angle. But since that's a right angle, this is actually a right triangle, right? So we can use a Pythagorean theorem. We'll go over here, a squared plus b squared equals c squared to solve for that height before we move forward. So, only thing you got to be careful with, right, this 25, this diagonal, that's going to be your hypotenuse, so that has to be your C, and then 7 can be your A or your B, so I'm going to do 7 squared plus B squared equals 25 squared. So then 7 squared would be 49, still got plus B squared equals 25 squared, which is 625. Okay, so now subtract 49 from each side. Yeah, b squared equals 576. And then lastly, you take the square root of each side, and b, or in this case, our height will be 24. 24. Okay, so now we got all the goods. We got everything we need to just plug in and find that volume. So now volume equals pi is just pi. Whoa, sorry about that. Get back up. Pi is just pi. We got a radius, right, of not 7, but half of 7, 3.5 squared times our height we just found to be 24. Okay, I'll plug that in the calculator for you just so you see how I do it. I do it all in one line, so there's no problem whatsoever. So pi, sorry, my baby's here with me making a little noise. Pi times 3.5 squared times 24. And you see we got 923.6, which was answer choice C right here. 923.6. Good. So let's move on. Number 2 says identify the following scenario as a combination or a permutation, then tell the total number of possible outcomes. Okay, so we're going to say whether it's a combination or a permutation, and then find that possible outcome. So put it in our calculator the way we know how. So it says there are 35 applicants for 3 jobs: computer programmer, software tester, and manager. Okay, so out of 35 people, they're going to pick 3, right? They're just going to pick 3, but they can't pick all 3 at the same time, right? Because one has to be the computer programmer, one has to be the software tester, and one has to be the manager, right? So that's what makes this guy a permutation. Okay, it's going to make this guy a permutation because it has to have an order. They have to pick these people in an order. They can't pick all 3 at once. Okay, so then it's going to be a permutation, and the way we notate that, right, is the big P right here. It was NPR, right? And N was always the number of total objects you had, and R was how many you were taking. So it's out of 35, pick 3. And then we can put that in our calculator. So calculator, let's delete that. So remember, you always have to put the 35 first, right? That first number. So put the 35 in. Then you go math. The fourth all the way over to here to the side, that's probability. So go over to probability. And then you see the NPR, like I've said, and then the NCR. So if it would have been a combination, we would have went 3. But it's a permutation, so we're going to go 2. And then you just put in that second number, that 3. And boom, there you go. 39,270 permutation, which was that answer choice C. C again. Ooh, did a very good job of circling that. Alright, great. So let's move on. Number 3 says find the probability that a point chosen at random lies in the shaded area. Okay, so we're talking probability. And remember when we talk about probability is always a favorable outcomes over those total outcomes. Okay, so it's all the favorable things that you want to happen, right, over the total outcomes, which all the possible things that can happen, the sample space, right? Sometimes we talked about it like part over whole, right, or what you want to happen over the entire sample space. But I like to put it favorable outcomes over total outcomes. So in this case, for our probability, right, we got this target. We got this target here. We just act like this is a target. We're going to throw a dart at it. It's got to land somewhere. Well, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. So 9 different squares that we could land in. So the total outcomes here will be 9. We're going to land in one of those 9 squares if we were to throw a dart at it. Well, then the favorable outcome is the shaded region, right? And then there's 3 of those shaded regions. So our favorable outcomes are 3. So we got a probability of 3 out of 9. But we know we can simplify that down to 1/3, right? And that is answer choice A. Whoa. Did an awful job of circling that one. Okay, great. So let's keep moving. All right, number 4, it says use the information provided to write the equation of each circle. So obviously we're just going to do one circle. So they give us a circle. They give us the information that our circle has a center at -8, -2, and a radius at 9. Okay, so this was pretty easy. All you got to do is plug it straight into our circle formula. Okay, and let's remember that the circle formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, right? And then your center is your hk. Okay, so this is our hk, and then obviously they give us a radius. That's r. So we can just plug those things right into our equation of a circle. So then it's x minus, and it's I'll just write it out. So minus a -8 squared plus y minus a -2, and that's squared equals r squared. R was 9 squared. Okay, and then we can just simplify that down a little bit more, because we got x minus a -8, right? Minus times a negative times negative gives us a positive, so that's x plus 8 squared. And then same thing here, so y plus 2 squared. And then 9 squared is 81. So then we got perfect equation, just like answer choice B. Okay. No problem. So let's keep moving. So next one says find the area of each figure, right? We're just going to find the area of this figure. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So we got this figure here, right? It's one of those guys we call a composite figure, because it's a composition of 2 figures, right? Or multiple figures if you have another one. So this one, the way we learned how to do it is to break it down, right? Because we don't know how to take the area of this circlezoid, right? But we do know how to take the area of, well, this semicircle right here. And then we do know how to take the area of this trapezoid. So we take the area of each one of those separately, add them up, we'll have that composite area. So first, let's do the semicircle. And I'm just going to put area of SC. Okay, and that's for semicircle. So what can I say? Mathematicians are just lazy, so I don't want to write it out. So the area of the semicircle is going to be pi r squared, right? That's the area of a circle, but then it's a half circle, so you divide it by 2. So then the area of semicircle equals pi. pi, our radius, and if you look up here, right, our whole diameter would have been 9, so our radius is going to be 4.5 squared, and then we're just going to divide that by 2. Okay, you put that in your calculator and you'll find the area of the semicircle equals 31.8. Okay, I'll save that calculation for you. I'm sure y'all can do that. So then let's find the area of the trapezoid. Okay, and I'm just gonna put area of trap. How about that? Area of the trap. So remember, the area of the trapezoid is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times that height, right? So then for the area of the trapezoid, it's going to be 1/2 base 1 times base 2, right? The bases are always those parallel bases of the trapezoid. So we got one that's 23 and one that's 9. So 23 plus 9. And then the height, they give it to us right here, it's 7. Okay, put that in the calculator and you find that the area of the trapezoid is 112. 112, and I'll save that calculation for you as well. I'm sure y'all can do that, no problem. Okay, so then for our total area, our big area of that composite figure, well, it's just the area of this trapezoid plus the area of that semicircle. So 112 plus 31.8. And that equals our answer choice D, 143.8, right? Answer choice D. Great. Let's keep moving and grooving. Next one says find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of each convex polygon. So here they give us they want to find the measure of the interior angles of a 17gon. Right? And we found that that's no problem to find. And the formula is actually on your formula sheet. If you don't remember it, it was n minus 2 times 180, right? And with n being the number of sides. Well, they give us a 17gon, so we have 17 sides. So 17 minus 2 times 180. I put a little times there. We don't need that necessarily, but so then 17 minus 2. Always do parentheses first, so we don't want to watch no movies or nothing right now. So 17 minus 2 gives you 15 times 180, and 15 times 180 is 2,700. Okay, went through that one kind of fast. That one's not a big dealio. Just knowing how to apply that formula, really just knowing when you see that formula on your formula sheet, knowing that n is the number of sides. Really seems to be the only thing that could slip you up there. Okay, so this one ain't bad, ain't bad. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm gonna save the rest for the next video. So this is final part 1, right? So I can't call it part 1, part 1. I'm gonna call this final part 1B. So then final part, when I do the rest of part 1, it'll be, I mean, this is gonna be final part 1A. So then when I do the rest, I'll make that final one part B. Let's do that. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't become confusing when you're looking for the videos.